Hi, my name is Chris Booth, a student at McMaster University who grew up right here in Hamilton, Ontario. Specifically here, 576 Westview Avenue, Ancaster. And I have so many fond memories of that house, climbing the trees in the front yard, hiding my sister's toys beside the fireplace. But unfortunately, one bad memory sticks out. When I was 12 years old and on a trip with my parents, we received a call from my grandparents, informing us that a large storm had rolled through and that our basement was flooded. We rushed back to find that our basement and furniture were all destroyed. Now, a quick Google search will show that this is a common story in Hamilton. Headlines like this and this and this and this and this and this show that this city has a problem. Although my story ends with a brand new basement and furniture, many don't. But luckily for this city, we have some very smart people working here at the Hamilton Conservation Authority. Now, the staff have come up with a groundbreaking idea to handle this city's stormwater problems. The idea is to start with a little bit of this, unused farmland, and turn it into this, a constructed wetland. Now, wetlands have the ability to soak up stormwater and filter it, acting as a sponge during rain events. This idea is being applied here, on top of the Niagara Escarpment, for what the Conservation Authority calls the East Escarpment Wetland Restoration Project. This is a brand new concept, and I am so excited to be working on it for my master's thesis. So hopefully, when the weather looks like this project will help Hamilton look a little less like this and a lot more like this. Thank you.
Food is the fuel of life. It lets us work, play, think, and do the things we like. But it's also so much more. Food is ingrained in the human experience. We bond, we love, we learn, and we share special moments with our friends and family around food. That's why food is so important to all of us. This is the story of Luke, a friendly 10-year-old boy who was diagnosed with eosinophilic esophagitis, or EOE for short. For the past few months, he has been struggling with some food getting stuck in his throat. This is painful and very scary. His parents think that's why he's eating less. After many tests, a specialized healthcare team from Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto diagnosed Luke with EOE. They explained that Luke's immune system was reacting negatively to some foods, and this was causing his esophagus to be inflamed. They gave Luke a very complicated diet to follow for the next few months. His parents got lots of information, websites and photocopies of resources they could use. But they were overwhelmed and confused by all this. Today, thousands of children and their families face the same problem. They were diagnosed with EOE and don't know what to do next. This is where EOE Squad comes in. EOE Squad is an app that connects children, parents, and their healthcare team so that they can work together in their own way towards the same goal: to find the cause of inflammation, manage their condition, and improve their quality of life.
The app helps children like Luke track their symptom and intake, all in the context of a fun game. EOE Squad guides parents with the information they can trust so that they can be confident supporting their child. The app also connects them to their healthcare team and other parents, building a community of support around them. EOE Squad allows the healthcare team to access all the information they need in a quick and secure manner. They can see exactly when the diet was started and print complete reports showing symptom and intake data. They can monitor patient progress at any time, offering their support as needed. The app also tracks air quality. This will allow the healthcare team to explore the relationship between EOE and the environment to better help their patients.
Now, Luke and his family know what foods he can safely eat. He feels healthier and can spend more time with his friends. His parents learned a lot about EOE and are now able to give tips to other families. The healthcare team is pleased this process went smoothly and quickly. Luke is symptom-free and his family enjoys a better quality of life.
Hello everyone, this is my friend Mark. He is a Canadian guy who has a family consisting of his wife Catherine and his two kids Tom and Susie. Mark works as an accountant in a huge financial firm in Toronto. As he lives in a quiet county, he had to travel on a daily basis to and from his work. Stuck in traffic jams made his life a nightmare. Last December, Mark heard on the radio that the Canadian government will start the testing stage of autonomous vehicles in the province of Ontario. He got excited and started to dream about how the future will look like in his city. Less cars on roads, less emissions and pollution. No worries about taking the kids to and from their schools. Some parking lots could be changed to green recreational areas. Even the groceries can be brought home autonomously, and people with disabilities will have more control on their mobility. What about jobs? Maybe new jobs will be created. And what about city infrastructure and future prosperous economy? All Mark dreams can come true if a resilient policy regulated the commercial rollout of autonomous vehicles. That will be the topic of my policy research, using the best practices from other jurisdictions as a start point, while taking care of the unique structure of Canadian society for a better future and a wise use of technology. Thanks for watching.
Community living has been providing services to people with disabilities and their families for more than 60 years now. One of the services is providing respite care for children and adults. Community Living Hamilton has planned to build a new respite center to expand the capacities, along with providing a physical activity environment addressing the rising needs for comprehensive respite care in Hamilton. There are people with disabilities in community living who has been using respite care services for more than 5 years now. There is a strong need to develop infrastructure for physical activity specially designed for people with disability. Our team, in collaboration with Community Living Hamilton, has planned to take initiative to provide state-of-the-art environment which fulfills the gap between lack of physical activity environment in the current respite centers and rising secondary disabling conditions. In this environment, people with different disabilities will be able to practice healthy living habits in conjunction with the respite care services. By this project, we hope to encourage people with disabilities in Canada to engage in physical activities by providing them an attractive, safe, and delightful physical activity environment.
Community Living Hamilton, the largest non-profit organization in Hamilton, is building the first North American purpose-built center for people with disabilities. Graduate students at the McMaster University are designing this state-of-the-art facility to encourage physical activities amongst people with disabilities. The McMaster University Community Living Hamilton collaboration will empower people with disabilities to live a more independent life with dignity.
My name is Harshal Patel, and we'll be having a conversation on food security and its impacts on your health. Let's just wait about 5 seconds in silence before I start. I'm sure that in this time, one of your stomachs probably growled or turned from hunger. You're hungry. Now after this session, assuming that you don't have any kind of food prepared at home, you probably want to go looking for food. Let me complicate your situation for a second and say that your budget is this crisp and fresh smelling $5 bill. What are you going to buy with it, and from where? If your thought process is anything like mine, you'd probably think you can get the most bang for your buck getting some lean meat, like chicken breast, and just cooking it up from home. But wait, if you head to Fortino's right now, you'll find that the price starts at about $5.99 per pound, and they probably don't sell bags that are less than a pound. That's way out of your budget. Oh wait, do you smell that? Smells like a sweet burger for $1.69. Now you get to the restaurant and you get in line. Then you notice the healthy options. Salads. Then you glance at the price and realize you could probably get about 2.5 burgers for the same price, and you're starving. I think I'll take the burgers. Now after your satisfactory meal, you glance back at the menu and notice the numbers next to the prices. They're the calories. You just consumed 1.4 times more calories than you would have with the salad. That's already 33% of your daily calories recommended. Now this is generally true. There's a relatively strong inverse link between the energy density in food and its cost. Now let's translate your budget for lunch to the reality and norm for an entire population of lower socioeconomic status, also known as the less fortunate. They're even more likely to be surrounded by fast food restaurants, and even more likely to be enticed to cheaper foods to get the most bang for the buck. Ingrain this term into your mind. Food swamps. Now specifically in Edmonton, those of a low socioeconomic status are 2.3 times more likely to live in a food swamp. And surprise, what have we been noticing as well? A higher rate of obesity in these populations. It's a huge strain on Canada's healthcare expenditure. up to $11 billion. To put this into perspective, you could build 300 miles of a border wall with that. So, should we stay sedentary in regards to this issue? Pun intended. The answer, according to Los Angeles and Berkeley in California, no. They've implemented both zoning and the forbidden taxes and seen positive changes in the food environment and purchasing behavior. But let me be honest, are burgers that cost 20% more going to make me personally stop eating them? No, but I would definitely cut down and eat more of my chicken and rice. Using policies, we can drain this food swamp. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.
When traveling by air, we go through many stages planning the trip. We book the flight, we pack our bags, we check the weather in the city we're visiting, we go to the airport. But we rarely prepare for the experience of flight. Every year, there are about 35 million scheduled flights all over the world. Studies show that about 7 to 12% of people who fly experience ear pain, with the likelihood increasing when you have a cold. The worst hit are children like Michael.
It was my first time on a plane. The plane started to go into the sky and I could not hear anything. My ears hurt.
Michael's ears are still developing and cannot equalize the pressure change. Our ears are responsible for pressure regulation, and when our eustachian tubes cannot handle it, our eardrums get sucked back in, causing the pain. If you have a cold and get on a plane, this pain gets worse. Should you cancel your trip because you got a cold? No. Muffler is an over-the-ear device that equalizes pressure and also serves as a headphone. The best part, you can hear through it when there's no sound on. Think of an extra ear you don't feel, that you wear anytime you need and fits to your size. The next time you get on a plane, take note of the people who hold their ears in pain, the people who swallow with a hand over their nose to make their ears pop, the child who cries because she can't cope. Those people need muffler.